You have something else.
My feet.
If you can move them.
So my knees.
Your mouth.
Oh, and I can try and bite his arm. Okay.
What else? Am I strong enough? Can you get out of this? Okay, she's lifting. Yeah, good. Try. Okay, but what's his objective? I mean, really, he's going to have to let go of your hands to do some things.
So I can do the air thigh.
If you can get hold of that. But your mouth, screaming, people always laugh about that, but it will scare them and it'll draw attention from other people if you're in a room somewhere and you can get help. So if you're screaming for help, your mouth, and if he tries to cover your mouth, at least but a situation like that, try not to get down, because if a wrestler gets me on the floor, I used to be a wrestler in high school, but still, if a real good wrestler gets you on the floor, you're in trouble, so you don't want to let them. So you want to try and avoid getting down into that situation, if at all possible. So if a wrestler, they go into this move, they're not expecting to be kicked. But most nice wrestlers aren't going to try and attack you either, but it just depends on their training. So if they have martial arts training, it's even scarier. So go for the throat, go for the groin, go for the kneecaps, on all of the women's self-defense issues.
I guess I could have also tried like the door handle.
Yeah, but I had your hands.
Yeah, but like you were saying before, they're going to have to let go eventually.
Yeah, because what's the purpose for me to sit and hold you on the ground? I'm on top and I'm holding you. Well, they either have to take their pants off or they have to, if they're going to do something like that. So there's a point where you're going to be able to do something, but you should be screaming. And try not to get into a situation where you're alone anyway. So how did you get in a room with a guy alone in the first place? And I have a friend that got raped in the house of her boyfriend, and that happened because she went over there, and then she said, no, stop, and he went, stop. And she got raped. It was horrible, horrible, horrible. But so the situation was being alone with him in the first place, which she didn't think he was dangerous because he was the boyfriend. So, we still doing okay? Okay, so let's do the crossover walk. So you're all lined up. And how that works with the camera. Hands up.
Oh, we're doing it.
Yep. Cross back, over. Back, over, back, over. Now we're going to go back. So you're going to go over the front and back. Over the front and back. Over the front. So when you're backing up, you drop your foot over the front. When you're going forward, you come through the back. Now, let's do the turn, where you cross back here and then swing around. Okay, that's a cross stance. Put it here and turn around. So you're actually putting your foot down and then spinning, and your arms are up. Now, when you're in a fight, this exercise is going to keep you limber and give you options. That I suggest when you're fighting, don't turn your back on them. And so, that kick we learned, spinning back kick, where you do that, I'd rather not do it if I'm in a fight, because I don't want to turn my back on them. Like coming here and spinning around, I'd rather not do that with them in a fight. It just gives you options. If you had to spin, if you had to turn, if you had to go down. Same thing with the floor fighting. I'd rather not be on the floor fighting, because you're at a disadvantage. So try not to do that. Try not to turn your back on them, if you can possibly avoid it. So go for the eyes, the throat, the groin. That's repetitive, but that's what gets in your muscle memory. So when you're at work thinking, I'm working with children, I can't do this on them, I'll hurt them. I can't do this on them, I'll hurt them. That's good, because you're in the thought process. Whereas when I was at that swimming pool, a guy grabbed my legs. I put this finger in his eye socket and lifted him out of the water. I wasn't thinking, okay, this is a church activity. The people aren't trying to kill me here. I just automatically reacted. So you need to do more thinking and think, okay, but also don't walk down a dark alley. And the other day, I went under a freeway, underpass at 9:30 at night, and there's this really little girl, probably 13, 14, all alone in the dark under the underpass. And I'm thinking, she's walking from one point to another. Why is she alone? Really try not to be alone, and try not to take paths like that are dark. I mean, if you have no other options, then you have no other options, but try and get a ride from someone. aspects of the grabs. Okay, we can go, I have the list and we can go down them. I don't want you to be limited, saying, okay, I can only do this, I can only do that. So when you play that what if game, when they choke you here, when they grab you here, so if I grab you from behind like this, so,
I can go
yep, you got out.
that if I wanted to, or I can just...
Good, and now you've got your knees,
I
don't
got
cross your,
these,
yeah.
I got this.
Very good. So here, do it to me.
So it's like that?
Yeah. And they normally hold your hand down like that.
Okay.
You're going to go out like you're asking for money. You're going to swing out like that. And it takes them off balance. And now from here, I'm cocked. So you can come here, hammer fist, so boom, boom. Now I grab hold of here tightly. So when I spin around, I can spin around and kick. And then I'm ready here. And you can come around back here. There's all sorts of things you can add to it. But the thing is, you're going to step out. You can step out like this. Just depends on what you're doing.
Well, it's kind of like, what if you like a basketball and they have like really big hands?
If you can't get out of it,
Then you step forward.
then you step forward and you're going to use your feet. Because I had a truck driver that did a demo on once. I got out, but his fingernails ripped both my wrists. And I was bleeding on both wrists. And I got out, and he was extremely strong. And he was probably 260, 70 pounds. And I was just a tiny thing. So, tiny guy. So if I've got you here and you can't get out, because I'm a big basketball player, I'm still worried because, yeah, you still got out. Let me try. Really, I'm going to try it. I'm going to do it as strong as I can. I'm strong as still got out. So if somebody's trying to hold you, did it hurt you? Because I did it strong.
Yeah, just
She's going to go home with bruises on her hands.
Nah, this is right.
Look, Mom, look what he did to me. I used to come home from class all bruised up, and the instructor broke my nose one day, and my mom's like, are you sure you didn't stay in this class? He didn't do it intentionally, but I stepped into his punch. Okay, so line up here. Let's just review the blocks. Hands up, put one foot behind the other, whichever is most comfortable. Good. Now line up your back heel to your front toe to straight in front of you. The toe to heel. Yep. Very good. And don't have this straight, because if your leg's straight and kick you here, it'll break. So this is turn. And this goes heel, toe. No, clever here. You're right first. So heel to your toe, good.
I got it mixed up.
Toe to your heel, good. This is slightly bent, good. So if somebody kicks you here, yep, you drop down and I went off balance. So if somebody does a sweep, yeah, you can go down, or you can just lift it, yep, you just let it flow. So, yeah, and so you don't want to stay solid. That'll really hurt you when you're staying solid.
So what if someone hit you like right here? You really
Collapse
can't-
it.
You really can't do it.
Collapse it, yeah.
Okay.
Because if you keep it solid, it'll break your knee. So you want it to collapse. Or, even better, try and move. I'm just saying, if you're there and it hits you, yeah, if you can move back, if you can move it out of the way, hands up, hands up. Okay. So, inward block, the small circle on the end, with the front hand. Inward block. Okay.
You just want to keep your fist like this, or do you want to kind of...
You don't want to move the fist around. Yeah, you want to keep it straight up and down with the bone alignment. So your fist is straight. Outward block. So outward with the small circle. Rising, small circle. Down and out with the small circle. Outward, rising, inward. So wherever the punch may come, put the small circle on it. So the small circle is the deflecting. You're trying to redirect my punch. You're not trying to stop it. Yep, very good. Redirect it. Okay, and then you come back like she did. You come back to your position, so you're going to block it. Now, really, in your mind, block, punch. Block, punch. Okay, so block, punch. And keep that up. So you don't want to have it too close here. Block, punch, block, punch. Good. And so you're thinking, now you have your legs too. So you've got the block, punch, kick, block, punch. So you want to mix them up a little bit. So we learn to memorize techniques, and we'll learn some, and then you can just let it flow, because you want it to be able to here, punch. Yep. So they shouldn't leave their arm out there, but we're just doing that for the demo, because he's going to go like this, and then it's harder to block that. You know, and we discussed how.
That's why it's better to stay on the outside if you can.
If you can move and get onto the outside. So, you ready to block? Get your hands up. I'm going to touch your forehead. Okay? You got
Wasn't that the first trick you did?
That was the first trick. So let's see if you stop me from touching your forehead. You ready? Did I hit you?
Yeah.
Okay. You ready? It's not going to hurt, because I'm just going to touch you. Your hands up, stop me from hitting you. Okay, that's good, because you're at the point where you're seeing right over your hand where you want. This is here. Spread your legs just a little bit. There, no, not too much, yeah. Like shoulder width. Like put this right here, so you feel balance. There you go. Because, let me pull you, good, so you have good balance that way. But if your foot, put your foot over here. If your foot's there, you don't have near as good balance. Can you tell? There. So that's where your balance is. Where you've got that heel and back to the toe. Perfect. Slightly bent. Okay. So, I'm going to just touch you there. And you had your hand there. That's good. Ready? Oh, now I can't. So that's even better, because she's impeded.
Yeah, but she can't really see over her.
You can't see over your fist, but you're going to be able to see over your fist. So, you ready? I touch your glasses, so that's good though. And you move. And that's what you want to do. You want to move. So if you can move in time. Okay. You moved. And that's what you want. You want to get to where you're moving and reacting. So you're bobbing and weaving. That's boxing technique. Now, they'll do this, but they're not expecting kicks to come at them. And so you want to be able to see, you want to put the best of both worlds in there. Still got your blocks available. And do we do jabs? Yeah. We don't want to leave our hand out there. Everybody. Out, man. That's your front jab, and it's one of your best friends. Now try it vertical, so it's straight up and down.
That's so hard.
It's got a little circle on the end. You can add the circle even more for a hook punch. So, where the nose is there, so it comes out and it actually hooks. You're hitting with those two fingers. And you've got that circle on it. Same thing if you're coming back like this. If you've got your arms up and I want to come over the top, I can come over the top and bend but I'm still going to hit with those two fingers.
Yeah, because it's like that hammer.
Yeah. Yep, it comes over the top. And a lot of people think you're hitting with that flat part. Some people hit with that flat part. It's those two fingers still. And it comes in and hits with those two. It's going to be much more effective. Your flat part, you've got all the tendons, you've got your bones. Still, and don't ever hit with these two fingers. Never like this. Never. The only time you'll see somebody come around like this is a ridge hand. And a lot of times I'll do the ridge hand, which is the fleshy portion of your hand. It'll go like this and come almost straight in. But some people do a swinging ridge hand, but that's after they've hit them. And then they come around like that with a swinging ridge hand. Boom. But even then, I'd rather just come straight in with it and turn it. But if you've already hit them several times, then you could do a swinging ridge hand. But I don't think you really need to worry about that, especially in women's self-defense, because that fleshy part of your hand is not as well developed. It's not as muscly as some people that are doing it all the time. The same thing with something like this, where you go to the throat.